Pablo,
Hello.
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Perfect.
Hello, Jason. Hello, Mark. How are you?
We're good. Is this how long you been listening to the show? What's your favorite guest so far?
Since the beginning, I think Gary broke it last week.
Really? This is Gary's
Yes.
everybody's favorite guest. And your favorite segment on the show is?
I think Ask Jason.
Oh, okay. So you like the Q&A format. Very good. And what's your favorite insight from Tyler to date? Any favorite insights from Tyler?
That's probably the wheels, the wheelchairs at Disney.
Yeah, wheelchair. It's like a wheelchair at Disney is pretty much the epic one. I'd like to ask a super fan to do me a favor. I would like a T-shirt that just says "like a wheelchair at Disney." That's it. And maybe a little wheelchair on the side. I don't know if it's offensive or not. Is that offensive? Like a wheelchair at Disney? Is it fun? You know what that means, right?
No. Why don't you tell me?
No, none of us do. Okay, so.
Wait, I need to take time out. I need to explain the.
No.
Keep it a mystery.
Is it inside baseball?
It's a very simple concept.
I understand it. Let's hear the pitch.
Okay.
Go ahead, Pablo.
Okay, so the problem we are trying to solve is wasted time. You're at the gym, you are commuting, you are walking the dog, and you're wasting time. Your body is doing something, but your mind isn't. You are bored. If you like books, the answer is simple, Audible. But what if you want to keep up with your blogs? That's where we come in. At hereablog.com, we narrate blogs, so you can listen to them in your iPod, in your Zune, wherever. They just work like a podcast, and our business model is like a podcast based on advertisement. The application is already working. We have many blogs, of which we have two high-profiles. One, Jason Cohen of A Smart Bear, Peldi of Balsamic. They're really happy with the service, and generally our feedback is quite good. But we want to grow. We want to build new features and actually get sponsors, and we also need investment.
Okay, so the concept is Hear a Blog, and the domain name is Hear, HEARABLOG. Correct?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm looking at the page right now, and it says you convert blog posts to audio with an actual person's voice, so you can hear your favorite blogs while you're on the go. So you are paying somebody to do an audio book of somebody's blog.
Yes.
So this isn't like some computer program reading the blog to me like...
No,
actually
it's
a human
delicious
being.
for us not to do that.
I think this is a great idea, and I can't believe that this is not bigger, because there are a lot of people's blogs who I would like to read, and I'm a big into audiobooks. I love Audible, obviously, and I'm at the poker table, wasting time, countless hours. I am walking tourists and fondue, so your pitch is resonating with me. I would like to actually hear some of these, and I think you need... Do you charge for this, or is it going to be sponsor-based?
It's sponsor-based.
See, I don't know if
If you
that's...
want
I mean,
to-
I would pay for this if it was some blogger I like if... I don't know, if it was Jeff Jarvis, I would pay for, I don't know, $10 a year or something, or $1 a month, I mean, maybe $15 a year, if Jeff would read all of his posts and I would get them all, or if it was Fred Wilson as an example, I would actually pay...
So you would pay as a listener.
As a listener, I would pay $20 or $30 a year to get every single Fred Wilson post in an MP3 email to me or RSS feed into my iTunes. Yes. Yes, I would.
Whoa. You're the second time that's offering to pay us. The first one is a blogger.
So, and why are you limiting this only to blogs? I mean, what about taking
New York Times.
the New York Times or something else and reading it to people?
Actually, we are not. Our system is prepared to deal with much more. We are trying to focus on one vertical and try to figure that one and then move to other ones.
Okay. So where are you based?
I'm in Switzerland. My partner is in Argentina.
So you're in Switzerland, they're in Argentina. You've been doing this for how long?
4 months.
4 months. Okay. And
It's not full time. It's our spare time project.
A spare time project. Okay.
Yes.
Mark, what do you think? I have the site up here so you can pull the site up so Mark can see it.
Oh, sorry. If you want to listen to them, you can go to the Let's Hear tab.
Yeah, I see it.
And
I
there
got
you
it.
have that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so can we pull up my laptop on the screen here? You can see it here, Mark.
Yeah, no, I saw
So
it.
what are your thoughts?
You know, listen, I would start with, as a consumer, I love the idea. And like you, I would pay for it. So I think there's probably a large niche of people who would pay for that. And I have the feeling that those are people who sponsors would like to have access to, because I think it's busy executives who would want to listen to this. So I think that's wonderful. As an investor, probably not. I can see this being a nice middle-sized business. I'm not sure that it will be a huge business. I also tend not to invest in part-time projects. I tend to invest less in distributed teams that are, multiple continents away. But I think I would love to see him be successful, and I will be a paying user if he turns on paid subscriptions.
Okay.
Can I answer to that?
Yes.
So we actually went to school together. I moved to Zurich because I got hired by Google here. It's not our plan to do it part-time forever. The first time when we got the investment, we will work on that full-time, both of us. And of course, we'll move to work on it together.
Okay. So you guys need to get a little bit of, you have to raise, how much money are you looking to raise in your angel round? Do you have a goal? No. Okay. So here's some advice. I would be very definitive about what you're looking for. The more definitive you are with investors, the more confidence they'll have in you. So when I was starting Mahalo, I said I want to raise $4 million at this price under these terms. And I didn't even say that's what I want to do. I said this is what I'm doing. So when I spoke to the VCs and to the angel investors, I said I'm raising $4 million at this valuation with these terms. Are you interested? We'd love to work with you. Or are you interested in sending a term sheet? And that made it a lot easier. If you don't know what you want, then they start looking at it going, oh, maybe these guys aren't serious. They just want to get a couple of $1 million, and you just got to come in and say, I need $500,000, and this is where $500,000 is going to take me. This is what we're comfortable with in terms of valuation. You should be you should be giving the details up front so that they can respond to them. What do you think about that?
Could I riff off that a little bit? I'd say some of that I completely agree with. So first of all, I think you need to know exactly how much you want to raise, exactly how far it's going to get you, what the milestones are. The thing I would be careful about is when you were raising money for Mahalo, you already had a reputation. People knew who you were.
Sure.
It's easier for you to name price. I usually encourage first-time entrepreneurs not to name price. Look, it's a very well-trodden path. We know how much $500,000 is going to buy in a company. So more or less the price is telegraphed. But I think you want to seem a little bit humble, and by not naming price, you don't scare some people away. And so I would just encourage you not to do that. And the last thing, and I'll just be a little bit controversial about this, is quit your job. Like if you're really an entrepreneur, you're going to quit your job and go freaking do this. And if you're not, it tells me you're not really sure about it and you're not that convinced. And I know that not everyone has the economic means, but I see people all day long who pitch me, who have 3 people living in a house, sleeping on couches, eating Taco Bell, finding ways because they're convinced that what they're building is greater than any other opportunities they have. And I think that's the sign of an entrepreneur. I'm looking for that before I put my money in.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a good point. People, I think, you're giving a lot of information during this process of raising money. And if the piece of information you're giving is, I might do this project if you give me permission by giving me money, but I'm not so passionate about it that I'm not going to do it if it's not with your money, that's at no risk to me, people go, well, wait a second. That doesn't make any sense to me. You're waiting for me to take the risk and then you'll take some risk? That's not taking risk at all. And so he's right. If they feel like you're doing this with or without them, that creates a sense of urgency. That's what I always think.
And a sense that you really believe it's a big idea. Because if you don't believe it's a big idea, why should I believe it?
Right. And I think in this case here, a blog, you have a little boutique idea that I think both Mark and I, and probably Tyler, I don't know how he feels about it, think could become something bigger. I mean, Audible actually, did, I think, try having some non-professional book people do this kind of a thing, but maybe it's something that they're not focused on. I don't know. Somebody can research for that and tell me in the Ustream room. But let me ask people in the Ustream room if they could rate the pitch. How did you think Pablo did here with his blogging thing, his blogging audiobook project?
Hero blog.
Hero blog. Just 8 of 10. That's good. What did you think of his pitch? So any feedback you can give. I think you did good, Pablo. I think 6 of 10, 8.5. It was a pretty good pitch. I think it's also very small. It felt very small and boutique-y to me, which I don't like. I like something that is like, maybe here's the big vision, and here's the first step, and it's one of 30 steps. So we're going to start with blogs in the political space, or we're going to start with business-to-business blogs, because we know there's a market there for paid. Once we establish ourselves there, then we're going to try to get sponsors to underwrite doing TMZ or Perez Hilton or things that are music, because we know that you maybe having a sponsor say this is brought to you free by will get that going, whatever. So I would have liked to see a bigger.
I think you're spot on. That's exactly it.
Bigger. Okay, good job.
Thanks, Pablo.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
How can we get sponsors, advertisers?
Yeah, so the way to get sponsors is to find somebody who I would say is endemic to the space, somebody who has a vested interest in the space, somebody who has an affinity towards the space. So if you had something that was music, and you found somebody who just really Sonos, let's say, somebody who's passionate about music, and they have a product that if they just sell 1 unit or 2 units is going to really make them happy, you can approach them and try to show them, like, hey, we're passionate about this 5 music blogs that we've now put on audio. People can subscribe to the stream. We've already got 300 people. If you sponsor it, we think we can get it to 3,000, and we're going to give you this introductory rate that's really low to sponsor it. And we understand you're not going to get the CPM doesn't work out yet, but we're really going to help push you, which if you've listened to my show, when I do those thank yous, I'm giving a very personal thank you to everybody. I'm really trying to, goose it up a little bit. So you can get advertising 2 ways. One is you have the scale and they come to you because they need the scale and they need your reach. The other one is you can start to sell them your passion, and it's a passion project, which was what we did on Weblogs Inc. So that just requires hustle. I mean, most people are going to say it's too small, and you're going to have to knock on 20 doors to get one yes. I don't know how to say it more clearly. I mean, even if you have scale, you got to knock on 5 doors to get one. When you don't, it's 20 to 1.
You have a unique sort of advantage on the sponsorship front because a lot of these blogs have sponsors already.
That's a good point.
And they might want to find a sponsor the audio version as well, for an additional.
And then you do a rev share potentially with
Totally.
the blog itself.
I guess what these guys what Tyler's telling you is don't sell it. Let somebody else sell it. So you go to the Federated Media blogs and you say, hey, Federated Media, we have this service that will read all of the Boing Boing blog posts. Boing Boing already has IBM as a sponsor. Want to ask IBM if they want to do a commercial at the start of every single blog post or at the end or in between or whatever? Maybe they will. It would just be an add-on. It's like one more box they check for $10,000 a month on their $50,000 a month buy. So I think that a partnership with a Federated Media or somebody like that could be good. I mean, they could also steal the idea, and then you'd be really screwed. But people are going to steal your ideas if they're good anyway, so you just got to move fast. Is that helpful, Pablo?
Yes, a lot.
All right, Pablo.
Nice.
So you got to check in with us in 30. I'm giving you an official prescription. The prescription says bigger vision, definitive look at what you want to get out of the investors, and
Target vertical.
Target a vertical, maybe a little more strategy, and we'll talk again in 30 months. Okay?
30 months?
Okay.
30 days.
Yes.
30 days. That's what I said.